like AJ said, I've been doing this for about 10 years so far, since I got out from my Berkeley engineering degree in 1984. And being in technology business for quite a bit, engineering first and tech business, and fast forward to today, I travel somewhere between 2 to 3 million miles, I lost track, doing international business. But 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was looking at the education industry. Two things came in my head, right? One is that the multiple for education companies were quite low. In other words, there might be some room for growth. It was already a multi-trillion-dollar global industry. I said, wow, there's a lot of growth ahead. So I jumped into the education industry. I actually went back to China, and I co-founded, I restarted another startup with a partner, and it was an education SaaS company. Merged that company with my previous company, and it was a very successful chain of learning centers that helped thousands of kids on a yearly basis get 2,500 perfect SAT scores, 2,300 SAT, so many high achievers, right? College counseling, get into all the Ivy, Stanford, Berkeley, et cetera. And all the top guys in my previous company and I, we hacked the process. We knew pretty much how the elite college planning applications admissions process work, right? But one thing that's different about me is that I really believe in personal life coaching as well, practical EQ. And I inject that quite a bit. Fast forward to after I was with my previous company, it was a merger that I put together for about 6 years. I left it, I founded 3EQ, and which is my current firm, and it's pretty much a focus on high-end families, family offices. I also do some global business rainmaking, but today it is the leader, it is a mentor of next-gen leaders talking to you, in front of you, okay? The struggles that I found is that twofold, right? One is that having coached one-on-one all these high-achieving kids, and I got former students that go to all the 8 Ivies in Stanford, Berkeley, Chicago, Georgetown, you know, Duke, you name it, MIT, Caltech, UCLA, every single top university and liberal arts school you can think about, even Oxford, Cambridge, right? Those are actually easier to get into. And I realized that, oh my gosh, kids really need help, because even a lot of high achievers, they don't know what they don't know. And that's one observation, many observations that I have. Another observation is start early, because kids, because they don't know what they don't know. So oftentimes parents don't know what they don't know. And most of my parents today, my client parents, are high achievers, right? You went to Stanford, went to Harvard, but that was like a long time ago. Today is a very different context. And so the parents that are humble enough to come to me for help, they realize that, okay, just like right now, mentorship is so hot, right? So why don't I fill out what I'm missing and try to maximize helping out my child, right? And also his or her well-being is so important. So what I realized is that kids are despondent. Oh my gosh, a lot of kids are despondent. A lot of kids are, some kids are super high achieving. They know exactly what they want. I want to be the next greatest CTO. And some kids are kind of lost in a shuffle, right? Most students are somewhere in the bell curve. And so each student and family are quite individualized. They're quite different, right? Of course, there's some similarities among some people. And I kind of like to personalize that. So one observation is that, even high achievers, if I did not do what I do to coach them and guide them and love them and nurture them, they would never achieve a lot of goals that I have set, right? Including college admissions, including some leadership skills, some soft skills. Those are so interconnected and important, right? Second observation that I have is that so many people, it really pains me. I see this all the freaking time. 3,000 data points, right? My 9 clients, they come to me late, say, hey, Mr. Ma, I want my kid to go to Stanford and Harvard. I was like, duh, so does every single parent. But I cannot put your kid into a microwave, press 1 minute, and a perfect person comes out. It doesn't work like that. I wrote a Forbes article about that. It really takes years of grooming and nurturing, growing, right, contributing, strategizing, story, blah, 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 right, all that. I'm going to cover that quite a bit, okay? And another struggle that I have is that I reflect on myself doing what I do is that, man, I wish I had someone like me guiding me when I was a kid, because my parents are blue-collar workers. They're retired. One is 93, one is 86. They're retired blue-collar workers. And my father had no education. So I never had a father figure, zero. His parents died when he was young. Sad case, right? But I love the guy to death. I love my parents. They had their issues over the decades, but today, because of these guys, the grandkids and us, relationships are great. Relationships are what keep their joy and longevity, right? Keep that in mind. So important. At the end of the day, it's really a relationship.